Everyone, I want you to know something. There is nowhere else in the world this video could have been made except right here at Ohio Wood Burner. We are standing next to two very interesting log splitters, and I'm standing with two very interesting people. This is Austin from TimberOX, the founder and the managing director. And we are with Matt from Timberwolf. You might remember both of them, really, but I was just up at Matt's place back in the summer. So, Austin, maybe we'll start with you. We are standing in front of the TimberOX Summit log splitter. And this is the one that when a person buys it, it will get shipped right to them, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
And, but we are standing next to another one, which is TimberOX Summit number 1. This was the prototype, guys, that was at the International Firewood Expo back in the summer. And the reason we have them both sitting next to each other, we got a lot of reasons why. But, Matt, we have two super neat splitters that were made by your company in partnership with TimberOX. And I think, though, you're pretty excited with the one here behind us, huh?
Yeah. This one here, almost a year ago, we brought this here to Ohio, revealed it at your International Firewood Expo.
Yes.
And you did some videos, and some people commented on the videos, and they said it needed to be faster. So
yes.
We went back to the drawing boards, increased the horsepower, bigger hydraulic tank, bigger hydraulic pump, bigger lines, and, well, we made it faster, that's for sure.
Yeah. So let's talk about that for a second. Here's the deal, guys. This is the reality of, I guess, social media and YouTube, and with companies like TimberOX and Timberwolf. Don't tell me for a second that these guys aren't listening and that they don't care, because this was to be the log splitter as a 7-horse Honda, and it showed up here at the yard, and then I did a video on it. And the overwhelming comments were too slow. And we thought it was
a little too slow.
Yeah, we thought it was fine, but the word was too slow. And I, unbeknownst to me, when I visited Matt, the discussions were already in place, and Matt showed me a pile of, I think it was 15 frames of this that they had to scrap because the final decision was we got to make some changes. And now they have upgraded to a 14 horse, which you had to go with a bigger tank. They had to do some reworking of the lines. So that meant they had to scrap those frames. They could have just sent this out and it would have been fine. But to them, it could be better. And so there was a little bit of a delay in the production, but now they're out here and we have a world-class log splitter with a cycle time that's going to blow you away. And we have set the original one next to it because we're just going to show you the difference here. But Austin, so TimberOX, you have a lot of pride with your company. It's got to be American made. Mm-hmm. It's got to be practical to the user. It's got to be comfortable to use, but it's also got to be productive.
Yeah, we put our users' experience at the top of the food chain when it comes to what we're trying to accomplish. And with this, what we set out to do with your help and Dan's and Gord's and Josh's help, we all got together with Matt and the team over there at Timberwolf and put our heads together and wanted to develop the ultimate home production firewood machine, as you kind of coined the phrase there. All right, so the first thing you're going to notice about this is this large work table. And when we talk about ergonomics, we're talking about when you're actually out there working with it. What does it feel like to be able to have a log round that you can just move around easily? It's not going to fall off the other side of it as you're splitting like a typical I-beam splitter because you've got this nice deck here. This actually folds down. So you got this tray table here. And when we fold this down, these two pieces here, we can put it back up.
Yeah. All right.
And that supports it, but it also makes it nice and compact when it's time to ship it or to store it away for the wintertime.
Sure.
But as you're moving, and you'll see this when we do the video of this, the logs move through, the split pieces sit right here. You can resplit those other pieces, it goes right through, push it off onto your conveyor belt or into your wagon or whatever, and then those pieces are still sitting right here, and then you can slide those around and resplit them as well. So you're not bending over to go over and pick up those pieces that fell over on the side, and so that's a lot better experience for the user.
Yeah.
We have the cylinder in a cylinder design here. You'll see, you can kind of see from the bottom here, 1/2 inch rod on it.
3-inch rod.
3-inch rod, sorry. And so we've got it coming out through here. And what that actually is, what's nice about that is when we have it right here in the center of it, we don't have the cylinder out here that we have to walk around to get to the other side when we're operating.
Yes.
So if you're a solar operator. So that's actually going to save you quite a bit of time just going and moving around the machine. The other part of it here too is where we put the controls. So rather than having to reach forward or in other areas, your elbows at basically a 90-degree angle, you're operating this and being able to move and operate this as you're going through there. It's a lot more comfortable than a lot of the other orientations of the controls that we've used on other log splitters in the past. And then at a height, it's about 35-inch height. Okay, so it's standard American bar stool height. And so you're not going to be bending over, crunched over, working on it like that. So just the ergonomics and the flow of this compared to anything you've probably ever used, you're going to see immediately, and I think be a fan of. Have a lot of fun splitting firewood again.
Yeah. So when these changes were made, what did you do? Because I see a lot of differences, but maybe you can explain to our viewers what's going on here.
From a distance, they look pretty similar. You really got to get close to see the real details on it. But the biggest thing is horsepower. We got 7 horsepower here, Honda GX270 engine. We got 14 horsepower here. This is a Kohler 440, still single cylinder, but you know, twice the horsepower, you're going to get faster speed, higher pressures. So that's a big difference. Now, you add horsepower, you can't just do that. You got to change the pump. So let's look at the pump on this guy here. Put my hand up for perspective. That's a 22 gallon per minute high-low pump. Driving a number 12, that's a 3/4 inch line there, and a very short suction line, so no cavitation right out of the tank. On this guy here, you'll really see the difference. 16 gallon per minute high-low pump, number 8 line. So you have far less flow going through, and that's really where the speed comes from.
Okay.
So now when you add horsepower and you add a bigger pump, you can't just do that. You got to add more hydraulic fluid. So here you've got a 7 gallon hydraulic tank. You can see that there. And on this guy here, we've got an 18 gallon hydraulic tank.
Oh boy, yeah.
Massive difference. So that required a big change in the frame, but I actually think this one looks a lot better too. So you know,
I think it looks
that's an
great.
advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know, bigger hoses, that has good flow there. And then this guy right here, this aluminum block, kind of fancy looking, what that is, that's a regen valve. So how that works, as the cylinder's going out, fluid is leaving the front of the cylinder through this hose here. And instead of going back to tank in a standard valve configuration, it actually goes here and it goes into the back of the cylinder, and it allows the cylinder to move twice as fast.
Oh, wow.
And then it'll automatically kick out via that valve there. When you need more than 1500 psi, that'll kick out, and then it'll stop regenning and it'll go to full pressure.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a 2-speed transmission built into the cylinder there.
Interesting.
And that gives you your highest speed.
And Matt, what's going on here? We have a slip-on 4-way, but it can change heights, I guess, right?
Yep, so this is an optional 4-way wedge. And you can see if you look straight on there, the wings are closer to the bottom than the top. Now to do that, when you slip it on here, now you got one height, and then if you want a bigger piece of wood, you flip it over. And now you get a different height. So if you're doing boiler wood or want to break up a big round, you can do it that way. Or if you want to have some finer wood, real easy. Or if you just don't want it at all, slips right off, no tools needed.
You're proud about the pusher too, right?
Yeah, if you see here, I don't know how well you can see it, but those are 1/8 inch indents that we actually machine into this face of the steel.
Oh, wow.
Kind of in a stovetop pattern. So that lets you do, if you got a piece with a crooked cut like this, you know, a lot of guys have that, doesn't really matter. It'll happen. If you have, you know, most log splitters, they'll have some bumps on it, maybe some little notches, but you go to kick and it kicks out like that. With this here, no matter what direction you put that angle, those will bite and it'll just send it right through.
Okay.
So kind of looks more fancy than it needs to be, but I tell you what, when you use this thing, it's pretty amazing how well that works.
And that goes back to the user experience of it, because everything that Matt just described, we've experienced ourselves on other log splitters. We also wanted this to be high enough so that this is on line. It's 12 inches high, so this is on line. So when you've got a large round that you're splitting through, putting it back together, turning it 180, putting it back on and resplitting it, the top of that log isn't going to be behind it, and you have it slipping off the top. So this is tall enough to resplit it after the log has been split in two.
Okay. So I see something else, guys. The trough looks like it's been reworked, where this is flush and this is not. What's happened here?
So there's I believe it's a 3/16 drop down here, and that was really for manufacturing aesthetics. It makes it a lot easier to run this weld down here when you have a nice fillet weld like that,
yeah,
versus before we were filling that and it's harder to see. You got your welding helmet on, it's hard to follow that line. So you can see this weld's real nice looking in comparison to that weld. We kind of had to grind it down. So it's more manufacturing and then strength, and you're going to get a better quality weld that way.
Okay. And let's point out something else too. Made in America, made by humans, right? You employ people,
yep,
and this is their livelihood, and it is into this machine.
Yeah, we have 4 welders. You know, they're welding these log splitters and processors every day by hand. You know, we use some jigs and all MIG welding, some TIG on certain, like the cylinders and whatnot. But yeah, it's they're really handmade right here in America.
And Austin, that is something important to you and your company. The entire the entire reason your company is in existence is to showcase American materials and manufacturing. And I heard it all the way down Austin. He gave me this hat, and he said it took him a while because he had to find a hat manufacturer that's here in the States. So Austin, that speaks a lot to your company, right?
Yeah, I did. You know, I served in the U.S. Army for 8 years prior to starting this company. And, you know, just starting off the company, we realized that was going to be one of our core values, that every single thing that we sell on our website, whether it's our products or someone else's, is going to be made here in the United States. And this log splitter is no difference. We source as much of it as possible from the U.S., so from the Kohler engine to the steel being American steel, and, of course, being manufactured in Marathon, New York. We're really proud of it, and the quality behind it is really what shines through for the customer at the end of the day.
Great. So this is great. This looks great. It is great. But I'm thinking I need to see it work. You think we can get this thing fired up and let's split some wood?
Let's do it.
And then I'll stay out of the way over here and watch you guys do it.
So who's going to split and who's going to stack, Austin?
Well, we'll see.
All right.
Okay, I noticed right away this thing is fast. I noticed, Matt, you had logs spread out all over the table. You had enough room to work where you can set one aside because you know you're going to come back to it. You gave some very nice, consistently split firewood, which is good for Ohio wood burner. And it will be a lot easier for you guys to stack before you leave today, huh?
Absolutely.
All right. I just know because I've run this one and I know what the speed is. This one is noticeably faster, but what the heck? We are here. Let's get this fired up and warmed up, and let's just show a side-by-side comparison. We will show the speed difference between these two versus what we were going to get versus what we got. All right, gentlemen, start your engines. On your marks, get set, go. Yeah.
You got a winner here.
Matt, I think you were showing off there a little bit, taunting Austin. You turn it off.
I think he was about to go grab a cup of coffee or something.
Yeah,
Don't have much patience.
You could have mixed a bowl of cookies up before Okay, so you see the difference, guys. The original, and we timed this at around 9-second cycle, right?
That's right.
This one is under 5, just a hair under 5. That is serious speed for what we are calling a home production model, where this splitter, it's not like a typical splitter you get at the big box store, the I-beam splitter, and it's certainly not a commercial grade. It's in that area that is underrepresented in the market.
Yeah,
And
big box store cycle times around 16 to 18 seconds.
yes, I had a Troy built, and I could literally sleep while I was splitting wood. That's how slow it was. This is legit, and it's got good power. The speed is awesome. It fits great in that market that I think is underrepresented. I think you hit a home run with this, guys.
Appreciate that. Well, we appreciate your help in coming up with the design and helping with the design advisory board that helped bring this thing to life. So we appreciate your help with that too, Joe.
Well, it would have had a Dr. Pepper dispenser on it if I had total control of this project here. So.
I'm sorry we had to shoot that one down. But,
Yeah. Where else in the world could we do a video like this where we can show the evolution of this machine? Because we got the original one here. This is number 1, and this is number 1 too. I would just say this thing is dynamite, man. All right, both of you, TimberOX, Timberwolf, you guys have knocked it out of the park with the TimberOX Summit. If people are interested in this, I can put a link in my description that has that will take you right to, I guess, the site where they can purchase it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And
I think we got a promo code in there too, so if they use that, you get one of those free LogOX haulers you saw me using.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. Dynamite. I am proud to be associated with you guys and to be able to call you both friends. All right. You guys are super cool. So if you are digging this, or if you still got some questions or comments, put them in the comment section. There should be no question that these guys are reading them and they react to them too. So let's say goodbye here from snowy, chilly Northeast Ohio, standing in front of the TimberOX Summit here. What a great machine. Good heavens. All right, guys. Everyone have a great... Hello, Matt.
Great day.
Have a great day.